Now after college football and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. Make a grim discovery on a welfare check, a death investigation now underway. Texas A&M University Victoria celebrates its first ever graduation, the historic milestone for students and the university. And state leaders award a contract for a crucial Sargent Beach project, the work that will protect this Crossroads coastline for years to come.
High pressure out towards Louisiana has finally started to steer in back some moisture. It's going to be increasing our temperatures. We'll talk about how hot it's going to get coming up. Max.
And the City O prepares for their first state championship parade this Sunday. We'll give you all the details later on.
You're watching 25 News Now after college football. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Shauna Curry is off tonight. A family is preparing to make a difficult decision, choosing whether or not to cut life support on a 17-year-old injured Wednesday night. That family is questioning why it took so long for their child to receive care after a deadly hit and run. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting spoke with the family and shares more on their story.
Yes, I'm here near the corner of Pleasant Green Drive and South Laurent Street, where a police report says a young bicyclist was injured in a hit-and-run incident on Wednesday night. Now, that police report doesn't say the devastation suffered by that young rider and the emotional impact on the family. Dennis Lee Richardson Jr. was riding home from work on a bike he recently purchased when he was hit and left for dead.
I feel like somebody ripped my heart out of my chest. I'm all over the place. I never thought I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy at all.
Using his girlfriend's location services, the family says Dennis may have been left out there for over half an hour.
This is not something a kid should endure. Like, they ran over my baby and left him there like he was on the streets.
Dennis was in dire straits. The family saying they hoped for more consideration once they were on scene.
I would want them to treat my son like as if it was one of their kids.
Family says first responders referred to Dennis as a John Doe or unidentified person, impacting their trust in those assigned to help them.
They wouldn't even service the boy because they had him under John Doe. It could have been anybody, bro. We all human. We all bleed the same color, man. Treat us equal.
The hospital is now suggesting the family pulls the plug on his life support.
Look at him. He has no brain activity whatsoever.
Victoria police are still looking into leads for who the driver could have been that inflicted these injuries, and they're asking anyone to contact the Crime Stoppers line for any anonymous information that could lead to an arrest. Reporting, Trenton Whiting, KAVU-TV, 25 News Now.
And Lachey told Trenton she will be in Victoria on Monday at the intersection where her son was hit. She's inviting the community to join together with her as her family looks for justice. Victoria police are investigating after a man was found dead inside a van at a local motel. Officers were called around 9 this morning for a welfare check at the Super 8 motel. Inside a van on the property, they found 61-year-old Martin Weiss, who was reported missing from Calhoun County. Police say foul play is not suspected. Authorities plan to release more details after an autopsy. Over the past few months, the Calhoun County Sheriff's Special Crimes Unit targeted multiple locations involved in narcotics trafficking and illegal gambling. In a social media post, officials say the operation led to several arrests and the confiscation of large amounts of dangerous drugs and firearms, including a ghost gun. They say authorities also seized more than 1,000 grams of methamphetamine, 6 pistols, 5 rifles, and a sawed-off shotgun. After months without jury trials, Matagorda County might finally be getting back on track. The county has not had access to the state's jury system called TEAM since September due to a system update. That's made it difficult for court officials to create juror lists and see addresses. A spokesperson from the Secretary of State's office says the jury software was recreated and will be available once it finishes processing. We've reached out to both the county and the Secretary of State for a timeline on when trials can resume and are waiting to hear back. The Cuero Regional Hospital completed its investigation into the issues within its network. Officials tell us the investigation confirmed that there was no data breach, no unauthorized access, and no malicious activity within the system. Officials say the shutdown and investigation were done to protect patient information and ensure the integrity of hospital systems. They added patient care was maintained through the investigation. Victoria County is stepping up fire safety efforts, and some changes are coming for local businesses. Fire Marshal Dan Porter says his three-person office is feeling the squeeze as construction ramps up across the county. Commercial fire inspections are taking more time, which could mean critical calls get delayed. Starting January 1st, the office will begin charging a fee for commercial construction fire inspections. Porter says the money will go into a separate fund to expand staff, improve facilities, and boost fire prevention efforts.
That you can safely get out, you know how to get out, there's enough exits to get out, there's lighting to see to get out, and that the building doesn't just catch fire and burn like a matchstick. You know, there's certain fire barriers, fire ratings and stuff that some of these buildings have to have. So that's our job, to go in and ensure that all that's in place so you can go in without any worries.
The City of Victoria Fire Department has an inspection fee system already in place. Porter says the fee schedule for his office is identical to the city's. The holiday season can be a joyful time for many, but for some it can also be a period of intense loneliness and grief. Our 25 News Now weekend anchor Amaya Norman spoke with a local counselor about why seeking support this time of year is so important.
During the holidays, feelings of loneliness and grief can intensify, especially for those who have recently lost a loved one. According to GW Healthcare, studies show that around 36 to 40% of people struggling with grief may not even want to celebrate during the holidays. We spoke with a local counselor, the owner of Restoring Life Bridge, who says getting support around the holidays can make a huge difference.
First and foremost, my advice to them is that they're not alone, and whatever they are feeling, whatever they are thinking, they can understand that there is someone out there that has something to offer to them or to give to them, as in experiences and life experiences that they've been through. So first things first is that they're not alone. Secondly, there is help out there for people that are dealing with loss and dealing with the unexpected situations that loss can bring, and to let them know that there is hope and there is life after dealing with loss.
Counselors like him encourage reaching out early, whether it's to a professional, a support group, or even a trusted friend or family member. The goal is simple: to make sure no one suffers in silence. For anyone struggling this holiday season, help is available. You don't have to face it alone. You can contact 361-652-8470. Dawn, back to you.
Amaya, thank you. And time to check in our weather. Let's go to Jacob Lozano with a first look at the forecast. Jacob, what are we looking for early in the morning? And of course, when I talk about early in the morning right now, that's about 55 minutes away.
Yes, we're going to be seeing some cooler weather as well as some potential fog here for the morning time. If you take a look at the surface map, we have high pressure back in our forecast, kind of similar as to last week, where it started up in Amarillo and made its way down towards Louisiana, but it's starting to steer that moisture back into our coastal counties there, and it's going to be increasing our temperatures as well for us here as we head on through the day for pretty much until Christmas time there. So future visibility is going to be fairly limited throughout the crossroads. It's going to be relatively more on the patchy side, not very on the very dense side for Saturday morning. However, if we continue through here for Saturday night, the fog does return, and it actually picks up a little bit more in intensity here, with near half a mile visibility in some areas, a little bit denser in other parts as well for Sunday morning. And then we see a bit of a frontal boundary to begin to push down. It's what we call a backdoor front up in Wisconsin from high pressure that's going to continue to steer a weak little frontal boundary down towards us. I'll talk about what that means, as well as these temperatures that are going to be a little bit on the spring side coming up. Dawn?
All right, Jacob, thank you. Well, it's a big day in the Crossroads as the first class of Texas A&M Victoria students walk the stage to accept their degrees. The atmosphere is energetic with more than 500 people walking the stage and with a big smile on their faces. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley talked to one student about the sacrifices he made to experience this moment today.
Texas A&M University of Victoria celebrates its students as they walk across the stage to accept their hard-earned degrees. Bachelor's of Applied Arts and Sciences recipient Roy Guzman says he wants to use his degree towards administration and continue to advocate for mental health. Guzman says he's had plenty of late nights and early mornings to finish his courses, but is proud of every minute sacrificed.
My family means a lot to me. They're all here. I'm grateful that they're here. I know that there was times where I wanted to be with them, but I was studying, writing papers. Even though it's online, doesn't mean that the curriculum is easier. It's just as hard, it's just as rigorous. It took a long time to get here, and so to see everybody here, everybody getting ready, it's real. It's real. I'm ready to walk the stage, and I'm excited.
Texas A&M University of Victoria President Christian Hardegree says she's excited to be a part of the graduate success as she's the first president under Texas A&M Victoria to graduate all the fall recipients.
I have to say I don't know, it's so fulfilling, it's so exciting, it's so humbling to be a part of the students' journey as they are truly part of this historic day in our A&M Victoria history.
Guzman's advice to newcomers is,
just go for it. Whatever you want to do, whatever you think that you want to do in school, this school specifically offers a lot of options for you. I'd say even with hesitation, work hard, do it. Even though you might lose a lot of time, entertainment and family will always be there, but the degree plan can stay in place and you'll be ready to do it.
the graduates are in all smiles, ready to take on the world.
And President Hardegree says she urges students to keep pushing themselves, reminding them that earning their degree is just the first step in an exciting journey ahead. And one of our very own technical director, Carlton Trey McNary III, walked the stage. He graduated with a communications degree with a focus in business marketing. He started with Victoria Television Group in 2018 and has been tirelessly working ever since to make sure our shows run smoothly. Congratulations, Trey. If you see news happening, call our newsroom at 361-576-0026 or send us an email at staff@crossroadstoday.com. We got both of those from viewers today. We thank you. Almost feels like beach season, and a long-awaited project to protect Matagorda County's Sargent Beach is officially moving forward. State leaders say a construction contract was awarded for the beach stabilization project, bringing it one step closer to breaking ground. The project includes new rock breakwaters, beach nourishment, and restored public access. Sargent Beach has some of the worst erosion on the Texas coast, made worse by major storms like Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Beryl. Officials say the work will help protect the shoreline for years to come. Construction is expected to be finished in 2027. A plan to widen and deepen the ship channel is raising concerns from environmental groups along the coast. The Army Corps of Engineers recently shared an updated environmental report in Port Lavaca. While some changes were made, critics say the plan still falls short of protecting nearby bay systems. Groups like Save the Bay are urging residents to speak up, warning the project could affect water flow, stir up contamination, and hurt fishing and recreation. Public comments to the Army Corps are due by December 29th. Gas prices in Victoria are dropping just days before Christmas. AAA Texas reports the average price is now $2.44 a gallon. That's down 3 cents from yesterday, 12 cents from a week ago, and nearly 20 cents lower than a month ago. Statewide, the average price for gas in Texas stands about $2.50 a gallon. Instead of hitting the road, more people are taking to the skies from Victoria Regional Airport. Officials say the airport is having near record passenger numbers this year, even after runway construction earlier this year. There's also the added holiday perk. Victoria County residents can get a $100 rebate for completing a round-trip flight between Victoria and Houston. County Judge Ben Zeller says flying local can save travelers time and frustration during the busy holiday season. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now, after college football, President Trump orders military action in Syria following a deadly ISIS assault, the strikes targeting terrorist infrastructure. Also ahead, a night of fun turns into a nightmare for two Austin riders. The roller coaster malfunction that required a rescue.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. We hear from the Calhoun County Humane Society, Faith Family Church, Brother Gary Moses, and Victoria College.
Okay. If you don't know what you want to do, we have an advisor for that too. So we'll have light refreshments. Yeah, you can do your FAFSA, get everything done on a Saturday.
The U.S. launched strikes against ISIS targets in Syria Friday. President Trump said the attacks are in response to a December assault that killed 2 American service members and a civilian interpreter. U.S. officials say several ISIS sites were hit, including infrastructure and weapons storage facilities. The operation, called Hawkeye, included partner nations such as Jordan, and Syria's foreign ministry says it remains committed to fighting ISIS. The U.S. Supreme Court is allowing immigration judges to move forward with a federal lawsuit challenging a policy that limits their ability to speak publicly. The decision is a setback for the Trump administration, which wanted the case handled by civil service agencies first. Instead, the justices said it can be heard in district court. A union backing the judges argued the policy violates their free speech rights, and the court said the government failed to show it would suffer lasting harm. To get more news, weather, and sports, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. What started as a holiday night out turned into a frightening ordeal at Circuit of the Americas. 2 riders say they were left stranded high above the ground on a roller coaster for more than half an hour with little communication and growing fear. Tonight, they're sharing what it was like being stuck at a 90-degree angle and how rescuers finally got them down. Jamal Kennedy has that story.
Well, we were out here like everyone else. We wanted to experience Peppermint Parkway for what it has to offer.
Today, Matthew Cantu and Nicholas Sanchez stand firmly on the ground, but Cantu could have never imagined being where they were the night before.
Once we got to that 90-degree angle and a sufficient amount of time passed, we realized that something serious was wrong.
Video shared with CBS Austin by Cantu's partner Catalina Sanchez shows him and Sanchez suspended in the air, hanging over the ground while on the roller coaster at the Circuit of America's Peppermint Parkway.
It was hard for us to feel any sense of comfort or safety. At that position, the only thing between the ground and you is the harness.
As a loved one, you never expect to go through something like that.
Cantu says it was shortly before 9 p.m. when the coaster got stuck. Austin Fire confirms they received a call about 2 people stuck on a roller coaster at 9:29 p.m. A unit arrived at 9:37 p.m. and mechanics eventually freed Cantu and Sanchez. But Cantu says that wasn't until after 10 p.m.
You know, being up there for that long, it can do a lot to a person. Once that 35-minute mark passed, my mind just went to the darkest places.
Cantu also says the communication from CODA workers to him and Sanchez was another problem.
It also didn't help that staff, when they came up to try to assess the problem, did make light of the situation by giggling and even making jokes.
In a statement, CODA says a sensor triggered a ride delay and says the issue was resolved. Circuit of Americas also says of the 25,000 people who have ridden this roller coaster, Cantu and Sanchez were the first to be stuck, calling it a, quote, badge of courage.
Do you think you'd ever get on this roller coaster again?
Unfortunately, no.
Temperatures today got to 68 degrees. It was a bit of a chilly start, though, at 38 for the low, but it's going to be another chilly start, but temperatures are going to be increasing. We'll talk about that coming up. Well, Christmas is around the corner, and thank you to Jonathan Allen here in Victoria showing off his house. He got, a couple little gnomes, blow-ups with the Christmas tree, and then we have a couple little snowmen out there. I know it's a bit warm outside to see even some snowmen, but that's what we're going to be talking about for the weather there for us. But don't hesitate to go to Crossroads today and go to contests here to submit your house as well. But I did mention temperatures are going to be a bit on the warm side of things here as we head through the rest of the week. 47 degrees, though, for the start tomorrow, so you're likely going to need that jacket when you get up in the morning. But it's going to be warming up here as high pressure is going to continue out west and continue to move over towards Texas here as we head through the weekend and actually build up in intensity here, with peak conditions looking to be right around Wednesday to Thursday. That's right around Christmas time here for us. And yeah, that's not my favorite type of weather here for December, is to see 80 degrees. It's a lot of 80 numbers there for us. And that's what we're going to be talking about here for the next 5 to 7 days, is temperatures just being way above average here for us. And not my favorite type of weather per se, but we do have a little bit of a backdoor front. Now, this front isn't really going to be dropping our temperatures, but it does pose a little bit of lift to get a couple little light showers up here for us. So high pressure up in Wisconsin with the clockwise rotation is going to actually send some of that colder air up north and shift it down south here, and that's why we're going to see the front line here begin to form there by Sunday. So likely some light shower activity will be picking up there, but I really think that we'll start to see more of it pick up here for Saturday night. And like I said, it's going to be relatively on the lighter side. Nothing really specific. May just get the ground wet in certain areas, but I do just want you to be aware that there's about a 10 to 20% chance for some rain here for Sunday night into Monday morning with this little frontal system that's going to be pushing through here. But other than that, temperatures are going to be very warm here for us here in the Crossroads, as well as, well, once the clicker wants to work, just a little bit of fog as well there for us. So tomorrow, likely going to be seeing a little bit of fog here for us here in Victoria tomorrow, getting to 55 degrees there. Temperatures will be jumping up into 80 degrees with winds out of the south at about 15 miles per hour. Relatively going to be partly cloudy skies as well. We're going to be seeing those similar conditions as well, getting up to the warmer side of things here at 80 degrees and mostly sunny skies. And Port Lavaca, going to be a bit of a warm day as well, getting up to 60 for the start, getting down to 77. But the winds will be picking up out of the south-southwest there as well at about 15 miles per hour, so make sure you hold on to those hats. But fog is going to be in the forecast here for the next couple of mornings here for us. We do have that little backdoor front that kind of opens up the shower activity, but for the next 7 days, I see a lot of 8s on that board, and that's exactly what the forecast is going to be, is temperatures are going to be right around the 80-degree mark here for the next 7 days. So maybe a little bit of time to go ahead and retire that jacket here just a little bit, because the mornings aren't going to be in the 50s as well either. So it's going to be a spring-like Christmas here for us in Victoria. Now don't forget to scan the QR code for more news, weather, and sports. And speaking of sports, we got Max.
That is right, Jacob. After the break, we're going to highlight Yorktown All-District Awards for the 2025 season, and I'll give you a little score prediction for the Texas A&M game against Miami tomorrow. That's coming up next in sports. Yoakum Bulldogs won their first ever state championship in school history versus the Grandview Zebras 45-29. Well, Yoakum fans, it's time to celebrate. Get those pom-poms together. Get outside there to the square because they'll have their championship parade set for 2 p.m. this Sunday afternoon. It's going to be through the downtown square, going through around the city of Yoakum, and then they're going to end up going for about an hour. Then there'll be a ceremony at the Yoakum Community Center. It'll be there starting at 3 p.m. to honor all the players, the fans, all the coaches for their major accomplishments. I want to give props up there to Bo Robinson, this entire team, winning their first state title. We had Ganado last year, and now we got Yoakum this year. Now, one team that was really close to trying to see if they can get to that destination like Yoakum did was the Yorktown Wildcats. They did lose in the second round of the playoffs there to Granger 62-30. They finished off 8-4 overall. And they still had some players that were some big-time honors from this year with their quarterback Brody Medding, wide receiver Matthew Ogeen, running back Mackenzie Yanta, and offensive lineman Colton Rogers. And some second-team honors went to wide receiver Braden Knotzman, defensive lineman Caden Mika, wide receiver Clayton and Sheetal. And so props up to all those names. If you want to see the full list, just go to crosswordstoday.com/sports. Now over to softball, where the Ganado Mains softball team received their 2025 state championship rings there yesterday at a ceremony. The Maiden softball team won their first state championship, just like Yoakum did yesterday, back there in May, beating the Riesel Indians 5-4. And again, official high school practices are going to start up January 9th, so not that much left to celebrate, but still want to get back to work. But they're still excited to get that, though, because they could be repeat champions starting up there back in May. Now, we also getting into another season starting up is high school soccer. It's going to start up here in 1 week time. We had girls and boys teams have multiple scrimmages ahead of the season. And we're going to look at the St. Joseph boys soccer team. They started off facing Katie Harmony School of Innovation today at the Field of Dreams, and they would lose this one 4-0. But still, it is scrimmage play, so they're going to probably learn a couple lessons and get ready there for regular season play, which will start for them there December 30th. They have one more scrimmage against Victoria West December 23rd before they get into play after Christmas time. Victoria East also faced El Campo in boys soccer, and East, they got 2 goals to start early in the game. You see 1 goal right there to start off there for the Titans, and officially for them, they are going to be finishing the regular season on December 30th. That's when it'll start, because they're going to be going at 11:30 a.m. at Corpus Christi Ray High School. Now, we had top 25 high school girls basketball showdown today out there in Tidehaven. The Tidehaven Tigerettes took care beating the Edna Cowgirls 58-52, and they officially proved a 2-0 in district play. So that's going to be good for Tidehaven. A little momentum because they're going to be off until January 2nd, while Edna is going to face East Bernard this Tuesday morning before they're off for the holidays there and Christmas break. And finally, San Antonio Spurs, they battled the Atlanta Hawks there in regular season. They took care of business after losing the NBA Cup there, the New York Knicks. Officially, they won 126-98. Victor Wembanyama had 26 points and 12 rebounds to propel the Spurs, and they're going to be back in action Sunday. So quick turnaround for the Spurs. They'll be starting at 6 p.m. And Don, we also know that tomorrow we got Texas A&M facing Miami, Florida. I think this game is going to go down to the wire, but I'm going to pick the experience of Marcel Reed, Mario Craver to make some big-time plays. I think Texas A&M is going to win very close. I'm saying 24-20 type. That's going to be my final score for this one. So kind of a lower scoring game I think this one's going to be. But the Aggies, I think, are going to face my Ohio State Buckeyes. Looks like, for my prediction at least, they're starting up December 31st. Do you agree with that, Don, or a little bit of disagreement, you would say?
I just say, well, flatly, A&M is on this station. Kickoff tomorrow morning at 11. Thank you, Max, and stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now, after college football, we'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, scientists discover a planet unlike anything they've ever seen before. The unusual shape that's baffling researchers.
Tonight, if not me, stay up for David Letterman.
People are aware of the fact that you are the leader of the resistance.
Scientists discovered a lemon-shaped planet. This artist's rendering and animation show the Jupiter-sized gas giant orbiting its star. Researchers using the James Webb Space Telescope say the planet is so close to its star that gravity is stretching it into an unusual shape. Its atmosphere is mostly helium and carbon, something scientists say they've never seen before, and how it formed remains a mystery. We've seen the 7-day before. Let's go to it real fast.
Yeah, it's probably going to be, kind of hot. I'll just be honest with you. But we're looking at 80 degrees here for Sunday through Friday here. So definitely going to have to retire that jacket, to say the least of that.
All right. Thank you, and thanks for watching. I'll be off next week. Merry Christmas.